We are
Rolling,
rolling.
rolling, rolling, rolling.
We are rolling.
That's a good song.
Oh my god, I love Limp Bizkit so much. Don't even get me started.
Keegan, welcome to the show. Welcome to Strange Grooves.
We're lagging here.
Oh,
As soon as we hit record, we're lagging. Yeah. Okay, we're good.
It was a Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
That's what happened.
It's too powerful.
It usually is, honestly, especially in 2022. What a way to start the show. No, thanks for joining us. Really stoked to have you on. I know, like, I went up and seen both the Botfly Cancer Bat shows, and
looks super fun.
It was so much fun. I had such a great time.
I had so much FOMO. I'm sorry I couldn't make it.
Yeah, Sharice was doing the work thing.
Yeah.
And
Pay those bills.
You missed out.
I know.
Yeah,
I was living precariously through Kate and Amelia's Instagram feed. I'll be there next time.
Falling down. Oh my god,
it was crazy. So that looked like it was great energy. It seemed like a really good round of shows.
Yeah, those couple sold out shows at the Cap. You can't really go wrong with that.
Exactly. I haven't been, and I was looking forward. It was a shame I couldn't make it because I have so many good memories at the Cap. Like I went to university in Fredericton, and it was that was like my hangout, me and my friends' hangout. So it was really, it'd be great to go check out a show there again. But next time.
Yeah, next time. I mean, hey, we'll always play there again. There's nothing to worry about. We are an East Coast band after all.
Of course.
Yeah, and we did see you. I think it was like a month or two ago at McGill's. When was McGill's?
What is time?
Yeah.
What is McGill's?
Maybe it was longer. I don't know. It was with Amelia. That's all I remember. And it was good. That's what I remember. So maybe it was no. I'm pretty sure
in St. John.
Yeah.
It was Paris Crew was the last place we played.
That's what it was.
Yeah, we first show there, last show there. Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
In true Botfly fashion, just shut it down.
Hey, it is what it is, right? Rock and roll.
So I guess since the show in Fredericton, what have you and the band been up to? Have you guys been playing more shows, working on anything?
Well, I mean, we had the show in Moncton and the show in Halifax the following days, but since then, no, we've been kind of laying a little low. Our drummer lives in Montreal currently, so we're playing that game now where we're flying him all over the place to continue for us to be a band. So it's definitely fun, but we're going up to, I don't know when this is going to air, but we're going to Music Nova Scotia Week tomorrow because we have a showcase tomorrow, so that'll be all we do until there's a show before the year's out, but I don't think it's announced yet, and I don't know if I'm allowed to announce it yet or one of those, but it's a holiday thing, so everybody can assume what they want to with that, but it'll be a local show to us. And then after that, we're kind of going to lay low and continue to write new music.
Nice.
Awesome.
I mean, well, yeah. I mean, you guys have been busy, like with, like a lot of the other bands I know, like having a busy summer, getting like their music out, touring, that kind of stuff. But I mean, like us too, even like with the podcast and our real jobs, the winter's kind of for like putting the boots down and getting some work done to kind of fund these kind of projects and things like that. So it's definitely about getting some cash together and making sure you can kind of keep doing the projects and creative fun shit, at least for us anyways.
No, yeah, that's the hustle. You got to, hit the nail right on the head there. That is for anyone who doesn't know the secret formula, that's it. You spend your winter just trying to make the money you can and hopefully set all the things up that you want to do through the summer and the fall and hit the ground running until you got no money left.
Yeah. That's fair.
So I'm curious. So you mentioned that your drummer's in Montreal now. So I guess how I'm curious how as a band you guys kind of navigate that in terms, not just for performing shows. You mentioned you're flying them everywhere, but in terms of writing new music and communicating and jamming. I guess how do you guys navigate that?
Right. So I mean, it's a relatively newer process for us right now. He only just moved there at the end of summer, but the attempt is me and the other two fellas will sit in my basement and just kind of record right to this computer, just whatever riffs we come up with, whatever ideas we're coming up with. And then we all use the same recording software, so we just send what we're coming up with to him, and he has an electric drum kit at his house, so he can kind of write what he's hearing to what we're playing, and basically we're just gonna throw the spaghetti at the wall and see which one sticks, and just come up with as much stuff as we can, and then siphon through it from there. And then when we're back in the same vicinity, so like, during Christmas time, he'll be around visiting his family, so we'll pick 2 or 3 ideas that we're working on then and flush them out, and then kind of that whole move. And then whenever we go on tour again, there's lots of time in the van to talk about literally anything, so we'll probably figure out arrangements and stuff there.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, it's kind of like with work too. Like you can do a lot collaboratively, almost better remotely because you're not
Mhm.
stuck in each other's ass all the time or trying to just have the same kind of jam nights or recording nights. Like
Yeah.
sometimes like a couple weeks away or like a little bit of travel can kind of have like an aha moment. And I mean, I know Sharice didn't come to those shows, but you guys are tight as hell.
Oh,
And
thank you.
you're and it sounds like kind of douchey of me to say because I don't know the way to put it, but like you guys definitely have like a bond and a stage presence. And I was talking to one of the guys that we've had on the show before, and he's like a world renowned like recording producer, Paul Milner, and he lives here in St. John. And one of the big things we talk about is show experiences. So the first 15 to 30 seconds of your show should be like fucking smack people right in the face.
Oh yeah, if you don't hook them in right away.
Right. And then,
Yeah.
that last little bit of your show should be like, as soon as they're going out for a dart, it should be like, holy fuck, they were awesome. Where can I should buy their vinyl. Like,
Yeah.
And the nice thing I found about like your drummer too, is like, he's very, you guys all are, but I really noticed how integrated into like the crowd he becomes and things like that. So you could probably live on the other side of the world. And like when you guys are around, you guys seem at least super tight. So I didn't feel like there was a distance between you guys. So
Yeah, I mean, me and Dwayne, who's our drummer, we've been friends for it's got to be close to 17 years now, like close friends. So, and then Sean and Babs, the other 2 members, I mean, we've all been friends for 10 plus years with each other. So there's definitely a sibling like connection between all of us. We are technically almost family with each other. The amount of time we spend with each other, the amount of when you're creating art with people, like you really have to, like in a relationship, break down every boundary and barrier to be honest with each other and make the best art that you can. And that's literally what's happened with me and those 3. So like they are my family at the same time as they may not be blood, but they are my family. So I think that portrays across. That's what I'm trying to get at here. Is I think that portrays across, even outside of our stage presence and our band. Like, I want to go get supper with these guys too on any other day of the week, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I could certainly feel like the love amongst the crew. And I don't know you guys super personally or anything like that, but I mean, I've been going to shows for years. I'm in my almost late 30s now, and
almost in the mid 30s.
I don't give a shit about just going out to any shows anymore. I really have to care about going to like, see my friends or have to be working it or something like that. And I really thoroughly enjoy like going to see you guys. Like it's just, it's a really good
Thank
time.
you very much. Yeah.
I hope you do come back to St. John soon. And
oh yeah, now with that new venue opening up, we should be able to.
Shout out to Haven.
We love you.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's so nice. We have a little bit of the exclusive because we're working with them.
Oh yeah.
But like when I was at the Cap, we brought Abby and Sid up with us because we thought, okay, if we're working with them, like from a strategic planning perspective and a marketing perspective, let's all go up to the Cap. Let's nitpick logistics. Let's look at how they're running the bar. Let's look at, things that you guys might want to do differently or where you want to place your merch. Right. And when we walked in there, I forgot how much people will just party in such a small space. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I really don't think it matters what the ticket price is. It could have been $15. It could have been $100 and people still would have sold it out. And I think it's just about like, the respect of it. But when I tell you about like the Haven space, that stage is massive. It's pretty big.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward to coming back there. I mean, we played St. John quite a few times. Usually Taco Pica,
Yeah.
We tried the Panic Room once, and that was kind of cool. We got to play Yuck Yucks one time. That was pretty rad.
Yeah.
Quality block party. But it's kind of just been grasping at straws since Taco Pika shut down. So it's good to see that something is.
And they're gonna have an espresso machine, so I'm thrilled.
Oh,
I get to have Americanos while I'm just
thank
chilling at
the
midnight.
Lord. Yeah.
It's gonna be great. I'm just gonna be thriving there, and still not too far from where we live.
There you go. Exactly. It's not
See, you guys were just talking about age too, and we're all in our early 30s, and just like the fellas love to hit the Red Bulls before we play because we're not drinkers or anything like that.
Yeah, same.
And like something about Red Bull. If I'm gonna drink it, it's gotta be too, or else I'm like mid burp all the time. And as a vocalist, that's not like a good thing to be dealing with while you're on stage.
Nope.
So like, yeah. And then like, so I'll crush a Red Bull, and then like an hour later, I'm like sugar high like crazy. And then when I go to play, I'm like starting to crash, and it's just like the friggin' worst. Like, so to have like an Americano or something earlier in the day would be just perfect.
Oh man. We'll call it the what a safe haven. It'll just be like an Americano to just like get you going.
Yeah. Pitch that to her.
No, seriously, it's going to be great. A little couple Americanos and some pretzels, and you'll have me there every day of the week.
There you go.
Doesn't take much, does it?
No, it doesn't.
No, it
We're
doesn't
simple
take much.
folk.
Yeah, no, come anytime. We love to have you in St. John, and McGill's is another really great place between now and I'd say January when they do open up. If you're looking for shows, or even just any time next year too, they're super great. We love Corey.
Mm-hmm.
Credit to Corey at McGill's.
Yeah, I mean, I know. Come springtime, we'll be itching to play. We don't like to sit stagnant for very long at all, so I'm sure you'll hear from us quite soon.
So, what do you like to listen to, anyways?
Wilco. That's like what I listen to 80% of the time. It's just Wilco.
Love that. I love when people surprise me. That's awesome. I did that to somebody. I've done it to 2 people this week with like old 90s country. And they're just blown away.
Like, really stunning.
Like, what do you mean? How dare you not think that I love Alan Jackson? But anyway, no, Wilco, that's pretty cool. Have you seen
I was lucky enough to me and my girlfriend went to see them in Montreal back in August, and that was
awesome.
a mind-blowing experience for sure. As a major fan of the band, and one of the few bands I would travel to see currently.
Yeah.
That was awesome. But I don't know, I listen to all kinds of stuff. There's a new band out of California way called Dead Body, and they're like death metal, and it's sick.
Man,
so if
how
you're
is
looking for
that
something
name
to
not already taken?
I
Out
don't
of
know.
all the obscure death metal, Norwegian black metal.
Yeah.
I mean, how is Dead Body not taken? Wow.
It might be because all of their handles for everything in their website is Dead Fucking Body. So I'm assuming there must be
that.
Yeah, someone probably from like the 80s, like still has a mohawk or something.
Right. That had like, this is edgy. I'm going to join Twitter. It's Dead Body. And they're like, why do you have to take that, dude? And the guy hasn't tweeted since like 2009.
It's like a music note. It's like Dead Body Band on Twitter.
Yeah, you have to reach out to Elon now and get him to cancel that account. Yeah. You got to pay for that thing now.
I know. And I'm like, this is totally off topic, but I am like, there's a community on Twitter of people that are thirsty for like a blue check mark, and I'm just like waiting just to see who's like that desperate enough to pay for a blue check mark.
Oh man, I've been trying to get Instagram to give me the blue check mark, and they just won't do it. And I can't understand why. I'm like, like I've had so many people get upset with me trying to search Botfly and get like the gnarliest like YouTube videos, and I'm like, I don't know, like I can't help that.
Sorry. Oh my god, that's so funny.
Yeah, but no, they won't give it to me, so fuck them all, right?
Yeah, precisely. It's tough. I mean, the only real tip I give anyone like on my side job in marketing for that is if you can try to have 4 pieces of like news content or like anything that isn't coming from a source that you manage or control, you'll have a better chance like when you put in the sublinks. So if like you did like the Music Nova Scotia showcase, Strangers podcast, First Listen zine, and there could be like another one, it would show that you're like you have like notable
Trending.
URLs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a random thing, but it might help.
I mean, I'm honestly not too concerned about it, but it would be kind of cool to have it.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm
Not
also
worth
like
being-
super new to the Twitter world, which is funny being 32, just getting into it.
It's
But
a
I only run it for the band, and I usually only run it while we're on tour. So it's like my like van time killer thing.
Yeah.
That's about it. Easy to get sucked into those things, you know.
yeah,
I
man.
use it for politics.
Oh, that's like
not
where it's
not
worse.
for not for well, I just
We
mean
used
like
to, yeah.
municipal politics, stuff that's going
Okay,
on.
yeah.
It's like a lot of the music marketing, a lot of that stuff is more operating through like web, through email, through Instagram, stuff like that.
Mm.
Not so much Twitter. Now, if I were looking for, certain like threads or something like that, or stuff about like tour or whatever, like same thing. But
Mhm. Yeah, I'm more of an Instagram guy. I feel like with the band, the fans connect with us the most through Instagram.
Yeah.
And then I just use Twitter to really talk about how much I love Taco Bell.
Well, that's the
Same.
thing with it. It's like Twitter's really a platform for politics, journalists. That was like the camp I was in back in the day, and yelling at brands and complaining about customer service, which is usually effective. That's
because
the way
they
you got to
have
go.
to have channels. They're corporate, right? They're not like really keeping it real anymore with all of us. Like
Yeah.
people being like, we're still jaded about social media, but we're still sort of involved. It's like being a creeper, but not fully yet.
Man,
Yeah.
I haven't been on. I think I haven't tweeted from my like Cherise my Cherise L Rights account in months, and
Oh,
like
it's been
I
years
created
for me.
I created an alt account. And it's so much better. Like I only only like it's a close group of friends. Like you're in on a gate. Like and just about the people I'd follow anyway. And it like changes the timeline and it just elevates the experience completely. I'm like, because that place is fucking terrible.
Oh yeah. You don't want to get yourself caught into any arguments on there. That's for
That's
sure.
why, yeah, man.
No, it's just not good at all.
I'm just like a creep. Like I just scroll through.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like,
It's just a lot easier that way.
Shit, people are talking and the drama, and I'm just like, ooh, like the neighbor peeking out the window. Like,
I mean, yeah, that being a bystander to someone else's drama on the internet's fucking sick, though.
Yeah, exactly.
well, it's entertainment, right? Like it's natural, it's human nature.
So Wilco, okay, so that's interesting. What is like so other than Wilco, what's been like your favorite concert you've ever seen or would like to see, or maybe one that you wish you could have seen?
Ooh, okay. I got to see Converge back to back like 10 years ago in Toronto, Montreal. Those shows were like pretty crazy. Like never really seen shows, especially hardcore shows outside of my city. And I mean, when I was a kid in Halifax, it was like all metalcore. So like seeing real moshing and people stage diving and stuff for like the first time was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I remember watching my friend Dexter get kicked in the face while someone stage dove, and I was like, "Holy shit! Like, this is not like a playground. This is like a battlefield out here." So going to those shows was really cool. Converge is also another fundamental band in my path through music. A show I would have loved to see. I would have loved to have been able to see Cursed while they were a band.
Yeah.
Never did get to see that. I know they came to Halifax once, but this was long before I knew who they were. But that band would have been crazy to see live. Yeah. I've seen Burning Love, so I know what it's like to watch Chris Callahan, but different band.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Okay.
So, are you a record collector, or are you a CD person? Are you a cassette person? Do you stream?
Okay, mostly streaming. CDs you can put me on record. CDs are dumb, and I know they're trying to make a comeback, and I think people need to put a stop to that because they don't even make cars anymore that have CD players. So,
You heard it here first.
let's get them things back in the trash. I do like tapes because it should come as no surprise to anyone listening to this that's into music, but you don't have a lot of money on the road, so being able to buy tapes is like a nice way to collect tour memories without breaking the bank. I do love collecting records, but it is not in my financial interest right now to be buying records all the time because they are getting more expensive and life is not, unfortunately.
Yeah, sure.
And that, I mean, that's slightly hypocritical of me to say because I'm someone who's trying to sell records all the time. But I get it for anyone who's, you know, hesitant to pull the trigger on buying vinyl. It is a luxury item. So
It's an expensive hobby and passion, that's for sure.
mhm.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. And speaking of, this is the part of the show where it's going to get a little bit tough. This is-
Okay. I'm being summoned.
yeah, it's time.
All right. If you listen to the show like you said you did, Keegan, you're going to know what's coming.
Ooh,
Okay.
So the segment is called Strange Solitary Sounds. It's going to be eerily similar to a show that the BBC produces, but anyways, we don't care. You're stuck on a desert island.
Oh, you're gonna have to repeat that because you guys paused there for a second.
Okay. All right. It's all good. All right. I'll start again.
Yeah.
All right. You're
Okay.
you're stuck on a desert island
Yeah.
and you can only bring 3 records with you. What
Okay.
are those 3 records and why?
Oh wow. Okay, Sky Blue Sky by Wilco, because that is my go-to Wilco record, and I feel like it scratches most of the itches. Wow, this question's kind of crazy because, like, when you really stop to think about only 3 records forever, that sucks.
yeah.
Yeah, it does, but we ask it anyway. It's a great
Now for
conversation.
that now 3 or Big Shiny Tunes
We
4
do.
CD would come in, wouldn't it?
Right. Well, this is the thing I should
Listen,
Com-
there is so many playlists out there that rip off Big Shines that don't need a CD to listen to that.
True. Yeah.
Okay, we'll go for another one here. I think Harvest by Neil Young.
Okay.
Not Harvest Moon, Harvest.
Mhm.
Oh, big difference there. And then You Fail Me by Converge. Gotta have one heavy record.
There you go. Nice selection there.
That's solid. Yeah, that's solid. That's great.
There you go. That wasn't that hard.
No, but you know, there's a lot of records that are just right there that should be coming with me, but you know, you guys are making it tough here.
Yeah, we say this all the time is like ours, like if we listen back through all the last like 24 episodes of Strange Grooves, like our Desert Island discs have changed multiple times, many times actually. So it's just more for us. It's like it's a great question to get people, you know, to learn more about a person and kind of learn more about sort of their taste in music, right? It's just a
For sure.
conversation starter. Hopefully it never actually happens to you.
Or any of us.
Or any of us.
I mean, realistically, if you're making me take 3 records to a desert island, there's probably not power to play them. So, you know, the question odd is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I actually didn't write the question, so you can blame the folks at the
Fucking
BBC.
right sassy. Hold on, it's like meow. We have a lot of props on the.
I can see that. I just
Very
have
tiny
one
crowd.
light. I'm not as interesting on this side.
No, it's all good. We're just very silly and have a lot of random things.
I like that you guys have your own like little studio set up here. Like you guys are all professional with your microphones, and I've got like old iPhone headphones.
But they work great
we
though.
Still use those sometimes. We have a few different methods that we use. So
tried and true.
Depends. Yeah, it just depends. Took us a long time to get these.
Yeah, we were doing that whole headphones thing when it was during COVID, and we recorded a couple episodes over Zoom before we learned to StreamYard. Yeah, and I find like when we've recorded guests that just have like the headphones or like their
it picks up pretty good.
Yeah, pretty solid.
Do you guys have like a mobile rig, like one of those Zoom recorders?
Yes.
Yeah. So when we were touring before COVID, and we were like touring a lot, we were doing what every other hardcore dude was doing and thinking about starting a podcast. I'm glad we didn't, but we were going to get one of those and just have it in the van. And yeah, you know, glad we didn't do that because it seems like everybody else did that, so no big deal. But we just always want to talk about food and fast food.
I'd beg to differ. And
I would, man, a van like live from like Botfly from the van. Like I don't know, that's like a cool show. Like you guys shooting the shit in the van on tour, and it's like a series you put out for that tour to promote.
Here's the other thing. Now
is the
we
other
do a
thing.
lot. Now I know, guys, if you're listening and you're thinking about building a podcast or you're a band, free advice. But here's the thing: if you look at like what Matty Matheson has done with like food, tour management, and like how he's kind of built like his empire essentially.
Empire, yeah.
Cheesy word, but now I mean he's building like he just put out. Did you see his workwear that he just put out?
Yeah.
All Canadian made. Like it's really nice. But the interesting thing, like his show is mostly just like audio through YouTube. It's pretty simple.
Oh
But like
yeah.
none of the other bands that he's even worked with do podcasts. None of them. And even if you just had it like where you met up with other bands and invited them into the van, like Steve-O's Wild Ride does, like from
Yeah.
podcasts,
Yeah.
no one's doing that. So I'd beg to differ. I think that you could do it really well and not in a douchey way and could probably like do pretty well at it.
Well, maybe we'll take a swing at it one of these tours. You know, maybe.
I mean, that's honestly what Charisse and I did. Like
We have this little Zoom handheld.
we met, found out within a couple of weeks of like meeting that we both liked a lot of the same like Canadian classic rocks, the Stampeders primarily, and found out that we just wanted to listen to records together. So we smoked a couple joints, listened to some records, hung out, and then the following night, because we said we were going to do this every Wednesday, we said, well, why don't we just hit record, see what happens? And at the time, it was very like it seems like a really shitty idea to do. Oh, hello,
Poppy.
Yeah, it's
So for people listening to the audio version of this podcast, you're going to have to go on YouTube and watch this to see this adorable dog that just showed up.
This is on YouTube too. Oh, geez.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Hello.
That's all right.
Oh
Oh,
my
you gonna say hi?
Oh,
Oh, little
hello.
pause.
Oh
My
God.
girlfriend's in the background trying to get his attention, so he looks at the camera.
It's a full operation here. Oh, hi.
Oh yeah, he's part of the band. You know, we got to make shirts with him on it.
But it really was as simple as that. And even if it's not on a Zoom, just press it some night, like on your phone,
Mm.
and put it out. See what happens. Put it out to Bandcamp as like a random audio track or something, or like a blooper, and monetize it. I guarantee people will really care and buy it.
You know, you're marketing, so I'm gonna take your word for it. And maybe go for that.
Yeah, you should.
Because-
Fuck it. You got nothing to lose. And if you just put it out without it being overproduced or putting a lot of shit into it, you literally have nothing to lose. And it might get picked up from a sincere standpoint. I think that's what Charisse and I have been doing is we don't try. We do when it comes to our guests and making it sound good, but we don't put a lot of work into the distribution or anything like that because we want, if it's 10 people or 100 people or 100,000 people, we still want to be able to like connect with them. You know what
Yeah, I mean that's what makes stuff like this. Like that's how you can filter through what's good and bad. Like again, to anyone who may be listening to this, like if you're going to do a project, just do it for you.
Yeah.
And don't do it for the thought that like, oh, maybe 100 people like it, oh, maybe 1,000 people like it. Like I never did this band because I wanted people to like it. I did it because I had stuff to get off my chest, and luckily enough, 9 years later, I'm still doing it.
Yeah. And I don't think that's luck. I think it's like hard work. And I think we'd say the same thing for ourselves. We never planned on being we're celebrating 5 years this month. And
Yo, congratulations.
we never,
you.
well, thank you. Yeah. We never ever expected to be running a podcast or having guests on our show or to be working with musicians and people like that. So it just goes to show if you roll your sleeves up and work hard with some people that kind of know what they're doing sometimes and not try to be a control freak.
Yeah.
Some shit will get done. And that's what we've been noticing. So we take advice all the time and we try to give it back from what we've learned. And to you or anyone listening, we're always happy to give that advice if you ever need more of it. But yeah, I'd get it out there. You probably have a lot of really cool tour stories, and I think people would actually connect with your band a lot more, right? So if you talk about the craziest show that you had in Fredericton at the Cap, what you had to eat, and how it sucks you had to bring Buddy back to the airport to go to Montreal. I mean, that's why people would be like, I'm going to buy a record, right?
So originally, our the whole bringing them to the airport thing, we had originally rented our van from Montreal, so when we finished the tour, we had to bring the van back to Montreal, and I was gonna drive on Thanksgiving weekend, I was gonna drive 12 hours straight with him because he can't drive. Like, and honestly, like, we were gung ho about this idea until I was telling my dad about it, and he was like, "That makes no sense. Why wouldn't you just drive from here and then fly him home?" And I was like, we've been touring for so long, and we didn't even think about that as a
You're just like,
potential
we're gonna rough it. We're gonna
we were
do
just like, okay, we'll go to Montreal, like we'll fly to Montreal and rent the van there because that's where the first show is. And like instead we just rented the van here, drove 6 hours, slept, and then drove 6 hours. It was like nothing. And then I didn't have to do 12 hours straight, and that was
Yeah,
awesome.
that's dope. Well, shout out to your dad, continuous improvement manager of the
Yeah.
year.
He's a
That's our
smart man. Yeah.
Yeah. No, and shout out to George Lutson and Janice Lutson if you're listening.
Yeah, they're
That's
so great.
Teresa's parents.
They're great parents.
They're our biggest patrons. We love you so much. No, well, thank you so much. We really do appreciate you
If
taking
you're
the
trying
time
to do anything artistic and your parents can help you out at all, or just even like mentally support you, that's awesome.
Yeah, just to clarify, my parents are not patrons.
Well,
Mom
they
and dad.
are.
They birthed
They
me.
took us to the Stampeders.
Yes, they did.
take us to Fleetwood Mac. I'm coming for you if you don't support your parents.
They provide moral support. I just don't want people to be like, my parents like fund this. They don't. They just
They
support in
funded
other
a lot
ways.
more than this podcast.
There's
You
a
know,
reason
so
for my existence.
another fun story about the Cap. So we played at the Cap for ECMA, and so my sister works for ECMAs as well. She's like the events coordinator and all kind of. She does a lot of different jobs within that company. And so my parents came up because we were performing, and she was doing a lot of the work there. And they actually came to see us, even though we were playing at 1 a.m. at the Cap. And it was the first time outside of like piano recitals and shit. But I've been playing in band since I was like
That's wicked.
15. That was the first time they ever came to see me. And then to win the ECMA the next day with them in the crowd, that was pretty cool.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Oh
Yeah.
man, that's so cool.
Shout out to the parents.
Yeah, at
And,
1 in the
and like
morning.
we don't play accessible music. Like my parents don't like the music.
Your
that
dad
I'm
didn't
making.
concert?
That's fine. But like for them to come out, that was cool.
Yeah, no, that's wicked. No, and again, we really do appreciate you taking the time to join us tonight. We know it's like, everybody works and it's a long day and stuff, but I think people like we've gotten a request a few times for the interview. And after like going
Really? Whoa,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, and like seeing, the shows and stuff like that, I just thought it'd be such a nice little like gift to the crew to kind of bring this out. So and you're always welcome on the show anytime.
Yeah, next time
Yeah,
you
like
in person.
anytime you guys want to chit chat about anything. I mean, we've got a wealth of knowledge that I'm always trying to provide to younger people who are trying to do this music thing, or even people my age who are trying to figure out the better path. I mean, we took our way and it has kind of worked for us. And I would, I remember being younger when this band started and having no one to bounce ideas off, and it drove me crazy. And I just want to provide the ability for people to ask questions from someone who's done the DIY method of getting out on the road and playing across the country and playing in America and continuing to do so. So, if ever you guys want me on or need me to help anyone out, I'm always around.
We would love that and careful what you ask for.
Yeah, no, you threw it out there.
Well, because
No,
a lot
it's
of
okay.
the things that we're trying to do in 2023, like with the Strange Grooves podcast and the media company and like with marketing is helping artists, musicians, people like as a whole kind of not take shortcut, but kind of understand the best practices, the best tools, the best people that they can talk to so that if these are things that they're interested in, they're not throwing money at the wall or getting the wrong gear or, not paying for flights and driving 12 hours, whatever it might be. It's just nice to have that ecosystem. And we've done it before where we have record swap nights or we'll have just strange gatherings where we'll bring 10 or 12 people on or onto like like something like this onto video. So it might be something that we look to you like later on and maybe just have like 10 of us or something on there and just kind of share it out to people. So I really appreciate that offer.
I'm always happy to be a part of helping anyone try to succeed at this incredibly difficult thing that we do.
No, we really appreciate it. And yeah, if you ever need anything from us too, you just let us know. And again, thanks so much for joining us.
Oh,
And until
anytime.
next time, we really appreciate it. But until next time,
Keep it strange.
keep it strange.
Keep it strange.